Hi everyone, so today I wanted to make a video about the RTX 3090 Ti that has officially released yesterday. It was a pretty big surprise to all of us. I watched a couple of videos on the 3090 Ti to just see the card and how fast it is. So we have it right here in Tech Power Up. And these are the specs of the 3090 Ti now. Compared to the 3090, it's only around 7% faster in gaming. Now, you can see here, this is a performance chart, the relative performance chart from Tech Power Up, and you can clearly see that it's about 7% faster. Now in games, it's going to be faster. I mean, it has more CUDA cores compared to the 3090. So the 3090 has 10,496 CUDA cores, and the 3090 Ti has 10,752 CUDA cores. So that's only that's a small difference. I mean, considering that the 3090 Ti is $500 more at MSRP of $2,000, going from $1,500 for the 3090. This difference is not that big. I mean, it's only 255 CUDA cores. Now, so the memory is the same. So on the 3090 Ti, we still get 24 gigs GDDR6X. The bus width is the same. Now, the TMUs and the ROPs, so the ROPs are the same, 112 ROPs, and 336 TMUs versus the 328 on the 3090. So, I mean, that's not a big difference. That's, what, 18 TMUs more? Not a big difference. Launch price 2000 USD, and the power consumption is around 100 watts higher. So the TDP is 450 watts with this suggested PSU of 850 watts, and on the 3090 this is 350 watts, 750 watts. So 100 watts more, with overclocked cards going over 500 watts, which is just insane to think about. Now, the cooler on it seems to be the same for the 3090 and the 3090 Ti Founders Edition. Now, for the other cards, so this would be the retail board-based designs, or we can call them just partner cards. So we have the Asus ROG Strix LC, the normal and the OC version. So this is the liquid cooled version. This is a really nice card. This one is probably going to be around, what, $2,200 because it's an LC card. Base or boost clock wise, we can see that this is the fastest one next to the Kingpin hybrid card, the Hall of Fame card from Galax, the Supreme X, and then so these are the fastest ones, and then we have some slower ones with the 3090 Ti Extreme Water Force from Gigabyte, which is, I actually have it right here. This is the one. So triple 120 mil radiator. This is a really nice looking card. It's probably going to be a pretty good performer. It's a very small one as well, for just the card size, but of course we got that 360 mil rad, which is pretty large. Now, I have seen a couple of different cards. I have seen the review of the 3090 EVGA 4-in-3, which is this one, which is absolutely amazingly huge. I mean, these cards are huge. These are 3 slotters. Most of them will take up 3 slots or more. I haven't seen many of these. I haven't seen this one, for example. Just let's take a look at, let me find it. So the Gigabyte one, for example, like, look at that. That's 3 slots. This is a huge card. It's really big. Now, it seems like the slowest one is the Amp Extreme Hollow. This one seems to be just the cheapest. Now, looking at this PCB, this is the weirdest PCB I've ever seen. Look at that. Now, because it's 550 watts, they needed to find a way to power it. And in this case, we have all of these cards, as far as I'm aware, they all use the same power connector across the board. And the power connector that we see, there's a couple of EVGA cards right here. So we have some, you know, the 4-in-3 Black, the Gaming Ultra, the Ultra Hybrid, and then we have the Hydro Copper, and then the Kingpin. So all of them use the same power connector across the board. It's the new, I think it's a 24 pin or like a 20, I think it's 24 pin, I don't know. Let's check that because I don't know. It's a really weird connector. It's a brand new connector, and it ends with 3 8-pins going into it, I believe. I need to find the power connector, wait. 3090 Ti power connector. So here it is. Yep, this is the splitter that you get. So this is the new connector. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pin. 12 pin with another 4 additional pins on the bottom, at least it seems like. So this connector, I think it can handle up to what, 600 watts, I think, 650 watts even, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. But this is a brand new power connector that's going to be on all of these cards, and it's a pretty nice looking power connector, and this will in fact enable you know, the 450 watt power that it's necessary to run this card. I forgot to put some music in the back. I'll do that right now. Give me a sec. Okay. So yeah, it's a pretty good looking card. I think, you know, all of these cards, the 3090 Ti, performance wise, I don't think it makes sense buying it, because in gaming it's, you know, not that much faster. Now, talking about 3D production and like more demanding workloads, it's probably better, but I don't think it's worth another $500. If you're doing just gaming, out of all of these cards out right now, the best one is either the 3080 Ti or the 6900 XT. Now, this will just depend on what games you're playing. If you're just playing general games and you don't care about RTX, you don't care about DLSS, NVENC, and all the cool things that NVIDIA has, then you can just get the 6900 XT. Now, if you care about those, then just get the 3080 Ti, because in gaming, the 3080 Ti, if it's a high-end model and if it's overclocked, it can be even faster than the RTX 3090. Anyways, back to the point. So, the 3090 Ti, pretty fast card. There's a lot of different partner models. These are huge cards. These are going to be very big cards. So, just, you know, hopefully you have enough space in your case and a good enough power supply, because all of these cards are going to consume at least 450 watts base. Now, if you account for all of the power spikes, which I don't think there will be as much power spiking with this card because of this new connector, but still, if you count that in and you count all of the rest, you know, the rest of your system, and you probably have a high-end CPU, you probably have a 5950X or higher, a 12900K or 12900KS, which just came out, you're going to want to have at least an 850 watt power supply, with 1000 actually being recommended. So hopefully you have at least 850 watts, hopefully, you know. Okay, anyways, going back to all of these cards, we also have a couple of Frostbite cards. So these are the water blocked cards from iChill, and I think there's also a Hydro Copper one. This one, so this is a, you know, pre-blocked one. I don't know about Asus, because Asus only has a couple of cards. They only have the LC ones, and that's it. Anyways, we do also get some other ones. There's not a lot of pictures on here. Also the Hall of Fame, which also doesn't have a picture for it yet. Probably is going to be out pretty soon. 3090 Ti, Hall of Fame, pictures. Yeah, here it is. So he has two dual 16 pin power connectors. Look at that. This is insane. So this will require you to have 6 8-pins going into the card. That's just insane. I mean, all of these cards are just insane. I mean, look at the power delivery on it. It's insane. The 3090 Ti is really amazing. I mean, this is the 3090, and it has 3 8-pins. This is going to have 14 pins again? Yeah, I think there are 14 pins. Yeah, and it will consume up to 516 watts of power. Now, this is not 100%. I'm not 100% sure on that. It's videocards.com. But it's insane. Like, it's really high. This is the back. It's not that big of a card now that I think about it. I mean, it's a 3-slaughter. These are huge cards, don't get me wrong, but like, you know, 3090 4-to-win 3. So, let me look at the back of this thing. Yeah, this is like a 4-slaughter. Like, it takes up 2 slots on the it has a 2-slot mounting plate, but it's actually a 4-slot large card, or it takes up 4 slots, because it's a 3-slaughter plus another millimeter or so, which is also going to take up more space. So probably you won't be able to mount anything on the slot underneath the 3090 Ti, even though it's technically a free slot. So yeah, these are crazy cards. These are really insane. They're going to perform really well, but I don't think you should actually go out and buy one. I mean, if you have the $2,000 to spend on a card, then, you know, you probably don't really care. You know, you can just get a 3090 Ti. It's the best card out. It's going to be the fastest card for the next, you know, this year probably. So, it's a very fast card. It's very fast. Anyways, so the partner models, there's going to be a lot to choose from. The ones that I'm, you know, most excited about is probably the Asus ones, as well as the EVGA ones. They've been sticking out the most for me. Here's a Asus Stuff card. Look at that. That's huge. Really large card. Have the Neptune OC, the liquid cooled one from my game. Let me see. Color for Tomahawk, EX Gamer, and these ones. So what I have noticed is that the Founders PCB. So if I go back to the where is it? Graphics cards. Why is this site so slow? Okay, 3090 Ti. Here it is, the 3090 Ti Gaming OC from Gigabyte. I'm sorry for the traffic in the back. So yeah, if we look at the so you see that how the PCB, you see this and you see this picture. This one also shows it pretty well. The Founders PCB seems to be a shape similar to the Founders Edition cards, so they're kind of cut up in these in this very weird shape. You see that how the PCB ends right here, and then this is just flow through. This card looks huge. Okay, just looking at the opening at the back, it's humongous. It's really big. And you get all the fancies with it. It's a pretty insane looking card. I'm very excited for the 3090. I won't be getting one because these are $2,000. Keep that in mind, $2,000, and these are probably gonna go for much more on the local market. But I'm pretty excited to see one. I'm probably gonna get my hands on one just to try it out. I probably won't run one of these cards, but if you're willing to pay another, $10 or so a month just for the power of this thing, because this is a 450 watt card, and if you're going to be overclocking it, this is going to be 550 watts, guys. That's a lot of power, considering that, a baseline 3070 consumes like 220 watts. If I go here, so 3070, or let's go 3080. So 3080 consumes or it has the TDP of 320 watts. 320 watts to 450 watts is a pretty large difference. In a 3070 Ti, for reference, is a 290 watt card. A 3070 is what, 220. So yeah, it's going to be a very power consumption based card. It's going to consume a lot of power. The 6900 XT is a 300 watt card. So that's 150 watts more than the 6900 XT, which is already... I mean, the thing with the 6900 XT is you can really undervolt these cards. So I think a lot of people are going to want to undervolt their 3090 Ti as much as possible to just squeeze as much power out of it. And if you do that, then, it's probably going to... I mean, it's going to be a very good card. Oh, sorry about that. It's going to be a very powerful card. Nonetheless, it's going to be a very, very fast card. Anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. And so yeah,